Hi guys, today we have
A special guest, very first professional MMA fighter.
Tedrick Macklin,
He's a professional fighter, better known.
as T-Money. If you want to see a story of dedication, keep watching this video.
Tedrick, welcome to Astro Fight Club. It's an honor to having you here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank
Okay.
you for having me.
Let's talk about your journey. Can you please let us know what inspired you to become a fighter?
Yeah, so initially when I started training, I've been training for 22 years at this point. So initially when I started training, my dad actually just put me in it so I could learn to defend myself. He was a police officer for 30 years, and he was like, he knew that with his job occupation, people were going to try me. So he put me in martial arts, and man, when I was 6, and I hated it. I was like I cried. I was like, man, I don't want to do this, right? And somewhere down the line, I've been training for so long, but I remember the first time that they put me to spar. And my first coach, he always goes he was like, man, your eyes were super wide. And you were like, man, this is crazy. But whatever happened that day, hooked me for life, So ever since that first day of sparring, I've been doing it and I've been loving it, So obviously I've been doing it for 20 years. So it's kind of my thing now. So that's what inspired me to train, because I was put into it. And then, I started doing competitions when I was 8. I won state title. I'm a state champion somewhere down the line, I think 2012, 2013. I won a world championship in karate in 2013. And then I used to watch UFC with my brother. We started watching Anderson Silva, John Jones. He would order them every week. And I was like, man, this would be cool. I was doing point fighting and semi-contact. I was like, man, it'd be cool just to do something to where there's no judges involved. It's just the real pure, as pure of an art as possible. So I started watching. I was like, man, one day I'm going to do this. And then eventually I think I'm 18 or something. And I do this little we call it a documentary, but it wasn't really a documentary. It was a 3-minute video, and one of my karate friends, he recorded it. And it was going over my journey, my accomplishments, and how I wanted to go train at Team Jackson Wink with John Jones. And ended up getting 10,000 views, 500 shares. It blew up like crazy. And one of the guys from our city, who I didn't know did MMA, he was like, hey, can I invite you over for an interview? So he invites me over for the interview. And initially, he's kind of honestly, he's kind of there. I feel kind of the ridicule me, because there's one point where I say, hey, I'm going to put the city on the map. And he asked me, he goes, how are you going to put the city on the map when this guy's fall from here, this guy's fall from here? He's like, you haven't wrestled, you haven't done this, karate. If you're fighting karate fighters, the game plan is going to be to take them down. And I tell him, I might not be there yet, but trust me, I'm a hardworking individual. I'm going to get there. So he takes me into his wing, and that's kind of the start. That's a long answer, but that's kind of the start, man. I started training MMA. There was a time before even that where I was going to visit my mom in Dallas, and I would just go to MMA gyms and be like, man, we don't have MMA down here, so I would hop into an MMA class, hop into the spar with some of the guys. I was a world champion karate, so I still could kind of hang. They'd be like, man, you're pretty good. I was trying to find my way down there, but eventually found someone in Midland, and interview me more. You'll see.
How do you prepare mentally and physically before a fight?
Man, there's just so much that goes into mentally preparing for a fight. Obviously, physically, you got to up your training. So I'm training literally anywhere between 4 to 6 hours a day during my trainings. Obviously, diet gets a little better. Training with quality people. Mentally, it's deeper than just fight time. You have to always, every day, mentally reaffirm yourself that you're that guy. And then when you get in the cage, I'm gonna be the bigger dog. So I go into it. As soon as I take a fight, or they hand me a name for a fight, I look at the guy, look up his skills. I go, okay, what's he good at? What am I good at? Okay, if he would give me problems here right now, by the end of the camp, with the amount of time I have, will he be able to give me those same problems? And most of the time, with enough time, I'll be able to prepare for all that stuff. And, I go into a fight, I don't go hey, I'm going to let this guy do what he's good at. I go in there, I'm like, look, I'm going to play my game, and whatever you're good at, I'm gonna neutralize it. You know, I go in there just to sink ship. So if he's gonna come in there, he's good at leg kicking or whatnot, I'm gonna take away his ability to do that. So you're not gonna just go bully me and like, oh, like it's not your time to showcase what you're good at. It's always gonna be my time. So that's how I always go into it. Fight week is a lot of like visual, like putting my music on, envisioning the walkout, envisioning like during the face-offs. Like it's just so like it's intense. Like I like to keep everything as real as possible. I like sometimes when I'm sparring, I'm like, okay, I gotta visualize. Like the better you can see it, the better performance I feel like you're gonna have fight time. So there's a lot of visualization, and then it's obviously preparation, preparing with the right people, getting the right type of rest. Very underrated thing. That's where it's kind of hard for me now because, you know, I have 2 kids right now. So, you know, it's resting, and I work early morning at UPS. So resting is a little difficult, but, you know, we get it done. And I think my career has kind of spoken for itself so far. You know, I've done pretty good things, you know, I feel like. So
What was the hardest fight that you ever had?
probably the hardest fight that I've had overall was definitely the Dixon fight, Devin Dixon. It was the 2024 fight of the year, complete dog fight. I ended up getting this scar in the fight, and what was hard about it is, you know, up until that point I was 6-0, and I relatively had ran through all of my opponents like with ease. And then that fight, I never like to make any excuses, but when I was walking out first, like they called me the walkout, and I walk up to the steps and I start like, you know, I do my little mental preparation. Like a lot of times I'll kneel down, and then you know, I kind of gather myself, and then I'll do like a little scream like, let's go, right? So I walk down there, I do all that stuff, and they're like, whoa, you're not supposed to be out yet. I'm like, what the crap? You know, this dude just told me to walk out. So then I have to circle back, and they go, Tedrick, Macklin, and I'm like, whoa, dude, I just walked out. So it kind of